That sounds excessive, but it's not. It sounds excessive, but it's not, okay? Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Teacherish. I'm Kia. If you're new here, welcome. If you are coming back, thank you. Today, we are talking about the dreaded edTPA, girl. That edTPA is no joke, but that's okay because I'm giving you 10 tips on how to pass the edTPA. All right, so if you're new here, my name is Kia. I'm a first-year teacher. I teach kindergarten. I graduated in December, and then I got a job at my student teaching at the school I student taught at, basically, yeah. And so I am a first-year teacher. I am a teacher that started in the middle of the year. So if that is some content you would like to see, please subscribe and leave me a nice comment if you like what you hear. All right, so let's get started, y'all. Miss edTPA. This girl is no joke. This girl she's tough, all right? And I'm not even gonna sit here and sugarcoat it, or, I'm sorry, the glare on my glasses is getting on my nerves. But it's dark down here in this basement, you know. We out here, we quarantine, we gotta do what we gotta do. Gotta use a ring light, and I can't see. So, whatever, just ignore it. But anyways, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. edTPA it was the worst time of my life. And I'm just being real honest with you. It was terrible. It was so terrible. It was so terrible. I hope they get rid of it, but since we're here, since we gotta do it, here are 10 tips to pass edTPA. So, tip number 1. Get an edTPA gang. Gang. I swear to God, having people around you who are going through the same thing that you are, it helps. It really helps. It is very important to have people who are around you who are like-minded, who are dealing with the same things, who you can go to if you are unsure about something. You can ask questions. You guys can cry together. I am serious. It is so important to have an edTPA gang. When I was doing my edTPA, I had an edTPA gang, and we had a group chat, and we chatted every single day. We had a Snapchat. We Snapchatted every single day, and it really mentally helped me so much to know that I was not in this by myself. So if you have a close friend in the cohort, or you have a group of people, get together, get a group chat, and just plug through it together. It is so important to have an edTPA gang. So tip number 2 is to get a planner. Get a planner. Plan your life away, okay? So I got a planner. All right? And my whole life is in my planner. Everything, every single deadline, every single date, every single everything was in my planner. I planned my life away. Get a planner, get a nice planner. If you can, spend a decent amount of change on your planner, because just, I don't know, it feels good to have everything in one place. A cute planner is a cute life, girl. Your planner's cute, you're cute, everybody feels cute, you know, if you can. All right, if not, get one of them dollar planners. Some things are still cute too, you know. Get some stickers and just make it your own, okay? Because my planner really helped me stay on top of things. It was easier to pace, it was easier to remember dates, it was easier to set like goals for myself and everything. So your planner should be your best friend during this edTPA time. Tip number 3. Set aside time to do edTPA. So before you even go into your student teaching, before you even start, make a mental note of which days that you are going to do edTPA. I did. It was every Saturday morning between this time and this time. That was my edTPA time. And I had edTPA time every single week. Now, I'm not saying to do edTPA every single day. That is unrealistic, girl. That is unrealistic, and you won't do it, and you're gonna stretch yourself out. But you need at least one day that you commit to it and do it. It's really helpful in your mind. Like, you're like, okay, I'm going out Friday night, kicking it, but I know on Saturday, I'm doing my edTPA, you know? And it really helps you, makes you feel better. It makes you feel better. You feel a little bit less guilty about not working on it because you have a time to work on it, okay? So set aside time to do edTPA. Tip number 4, if you procrastinate on everything else in your life, do not procrastinate with the edTPA, girl. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will regret it. It will be the worst decision you ever made in your entire life. If you can procrastinate on everything, anything in the world, but do not procrastinate with this edTPA, start early. Start as soon as you get the material. Start even before then. Look up videos, research. Really set aside time to do your edTPA. That goes hand in hand with tip number 3. Set aside time to do it. If you set aside time to do edTPA, you will not procrastinate. You will not. It's impossible. All right, so tip number 4, do not procrastinate. Get things done. Tip number 5 is pace yourself. Pace yourself. That goes hand in hand with tip number 3 and tip number 4. If you set aside time, if you do not procrastinate, if you get a planner and you plan out when you're gonna have everything done, every task 1, task 2, task 3, when you're gonna record, when you're gonna sit down and write your lesson plans for your edTPA, you will do amazing. So tip number 5, yeah. Pace yourself. So what I did is I sat down, I opened my planner, I looked at, because you will, for student teaching, you will probably get a pacing guide. I did everything maybe a week ahead. So when the pacing guide that my school gave me wanted XYZ, suggested that XYZ should be done, I made myself do it a week earlier. I did that because that way I had a little bit of leeway. You know, I had a little bit of leeway. If I did not exactly get it done, I knew that I was going to get it done at some point, and it was going to be earlier than what it should have been done. All right, so pace yourself. So I had, okay, this Saturday I'm going to have my context for learning done. This Saturday, next Saturday, I'm gonna have my lesson plan outlined out. Next Saturday, I'm gonna have my lesson plans written. The next Saturday, I'm gonna start practicing recording. Literally pace yourself. It will save you. It will save you. I paced myself and I did not wait, and it helped me a lot in the long run. So pace yourself. Tip number 5, figure out your tip number 6. Tip number 6, figure out your study habits and then use them to your benefits, okay? So my study habits, I am a tune-out TV study person. It sounds terrible, but I sat on my desk, I turned Law and Order on, or what did I turn on? I turned Law and Order, or I turned The Office on, something that I can tune out, and I was able to sit down at home by myself, no distractions. That's the type of study person I am. I need something to tune out, but I need to be by myself. And so I knew that, and I did every Saturday. That's what I did. I threw my Law and Order on, I got my coffee, I tuned everything out, and that I just did all my edTPA stuff. And I figured out my study habits, and it worked for me, and I kept doing it. So that's tip number 6, figure out your study habit. Tip number 7, plan your lessons. More is better. For planning your lessons for edTPA, more is better. So I did the early childhood edTPA, and they require the minimum is 3 lessons, all right? I planned about 6 lessons because the minimum is 3 lessons. I know that if I have a minimum of 3 lessons and the 3 that I do are terrible and I record them and they're terrible, I have 3 more lessons to get it right. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's easy to, if you only do the bare minimum, you have less to work with when it comes down to writing those tasks, and you're like, I don't have it. I didn't hit none of these things. Oh, that's another tip. Anyways, over plan your lessons. More is better. The minimum for the early childhood edTPA is 3. I planned 6. I'm just real with you. I planned 6 because I figured more is better, and it was better. There was one lesson that I was unsure about. Recorded it and I was like, no. But I had more lessons to basically help. So the other lessons were better. And so the lesson that I originally thought was gonna be good was awful. And then I was like, okay, all right, the next day will be better because I planned ahead. So plan ahead. Tip number 8, record early. Record early and practice recording early. So before I even sat down to write my lessons, when I was student teaching, when I started taking over the classroom and started teaching lessons, I recorded myself. One, so that my students could get used to being on camera and they wouldn't act the fool when it came time to record it, right? My students knew what was up. It wasn't a surprise when I had to record for my actual lessons. Reason number 2 was because I had to practice going back and watching my videos and seeing, was this a good angle? Do I need to pick a better angle? Can I hear? Is this, can I see everything that I need to see? So, if you can get your student signatures for the release forms for the video, sign early, get it done so you can start practicing recording. It is so important to practice early. Tip number 10. It was tip number 9. This is tip number 9. I done lost track of my tips. I done lost track of the count, but these are all good. Tip number 9, I guess, would be to look at all the guidelines before you sit down to write your lessons. Look at task 1, see, okay, what do I really need to hit in my lessons, okay? Look at task 2. What do the scorers need to see before I write this lesson? Your lesson should be tailored around task 1, task 2. What are you supposed to be doing? What are they supposed to be seeing? Are you showing that? How can you show that? How can you take the content that you have to teach and tailor it to this task 1, task 2? So read all of the guidelines, read all task 1, task 2 questions before you sit down and write a thing for lesson planning. Before you record a thing, look at task 2 and see, what do I need to show? That's self-explanatory. That's self-explanatory right there. All right, last tip. Last tip for passing the edTPA, girl. The last thing you need to do, or if you're a guy watching this, guy, I call everything girl, I call everything sis. I call my cat sis, or I'll call anything sis, so don't get offended. Okay, but anyways, the last tip is to be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be confident. You are doing this for a reason. You are becoming a teacher for a reason. And whatever reason that is, your passion, your drive is going to show on your videos. It really is. If you're confident, if you're prepared, if you're well planned, you're gonna do fine. Be kind to yourself. You do not have to work on edTPA every single day. You don't. Take some time for yourself. Spend time with yourself. Go out, mingle with your friends, go to the club. Do what you need to do. Relax, practice self-care. Because if you just burn yourself out stressing and worrying about this edTPA, you will not enjoy yourself. You will not enjoy your student teaching. And student teaching is such a fun time in a young teacher's career. I enjoyed myself. I had fun with student teaching. Do not get discouraged. Do not think that if you're not working on edTPA every single day that you're not gonna pass. You will. You will pass. You will be fine. So be confident. And my last tip is to just be kind to yourself. We're gonna do it. You're gonna get through it. I got through it. I cried like 3 times. I'm not necessarily saying that you're gonna cry, but if you do, it's okay. You're gonna get through it. And yeah, so those are my 10 tips for passing edTPA. I'm sorry that my glasses was glare the entire time. I don't know how to fix it. But anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have a comment or questions, I'll be more than happy to help you. Please leave a comment below, or you can message me on YouTube. And also, please subscribe if you like what you heard and you want to hear more, or you want to see more and more teaching content or more vlogging once we're done with this crazy quarantine time. Please subscribe. And other than that, have an amazing day. Be healthy, be happy, be whole. Girl, you're gonna pass that edTPA. You're gonna pass it. Bye.